Hi everyone, welcome to this Chaturanga Dandasana tutorial. Now Chaturanga Dandasana in Sanskrit means four-limb staff pose. I mean, he knows where he's going. It's not everyone's favorite pose. So this is a pose that occurs a lot, right? Almost through every vinyasa. And if done incorrectly, can cause some injuries and some fatigue in the body. Now, I am not claiming to know everything, and I think it's really important that we get our information from several different people and several different sources, and then piece together what works for us and our bodies. But I'm going to give you some modifications, I'm going to give you some variations, and I'm going to give you some drills, which I find have really helped develop this practice for me and ultimately build some strength in my body, which this pose requires you to have quite a bit of if you're going to do 50 of them, right? And I'm also a big fan of skipping them when I feel I need to. It's not against the law, and you're not a bad person if you take that option. So I want us to think about hand and also forearm placement as well, where the elbows swing in and where really they should kind of hug in as well. So if you come into all fours for me, spread your fingers out wide, leave the knees on the floor for the moment. As we begin, I want you just to add a bit of movement into your body. Rock it forward and back, wiggle out the shoulders, get out any creaks that you need. Now, when we take our chaturangas, the elbows are narrow, so we are targeting the tricep muscles, the backs of the arms. So if you are in all fours right now, you can just kind of practice by bending the elbows down so that you're not bearing too much weight to begin with. Spread the fingers wide and then press back up. When you take this movement, I want you to feel like you're resisting the floor. So you don't really want to go towards it. And then you press back up. Claw down your fingertips so that the tips of the fingers turn white, and you press down the mounds of the fingers, the point of the finger that connects to the palm. I talk a lot about this in my hands tutorial, which you should definitely check out. So to begin with, just to get that almost muscle memory, the familiarity of this pose, and you can still feel it. I mean, I'm shaking here. You just bring the knees down. You're not bearing too much weight. You're just getting used to hugging the elbows a little bit closer in towards your ribs. If you're at a point in your life where you can't even do that, then I'm fine with it. Bring your hands out in front of you, spread your fingers out wide and do it off of the floor. Still try and hug the elbows in and then press them away. Squeezing them in towards the ribs and press away. It's not about how low you go. And everyone's going to go at a different level. Some people love to come all the way down to the ground. Some people just like to have a tiny little inch bend in their elbows. It's all chaturanga in my opinion, in my book, as we are all dealing with different things. Now, if we want to step it up a little bit more as if we were just going through a big flow in our class, or if you're in an Ashtanga class, then you bring your knees together. This is your modification. Squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone under very slightly, chest forward over the hands and the wrist. Just make sure that you're not dropping the hips and there's no engagement in the legs and the glutes here. I want the engagement to run through pretty much the whole body. You push the floor away to begin with and try and separate the space with your shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades. Now hold this here and then take that little bend in the elbows. Bend them 2 inches, hug them in towards the ribs, but without restricting the ribs. You don't want yourself to sort of pass out from not breathing, and then you press it back up. Your breath is really important, so take a really big breath in your plank, and as you exhale, you bend your elbows and you go down. Inhale, you push back up. Let's take it again. Exhale, we go down. Inhale, press back up. Last one, exhale down. Inhale, press back up, sit your bum to your heels. Now that's your very respectable modification. You take that position and you will be flying through your practice with strength. If you need to just hold your plank and not take the chaturanga, then that's your option as well. If you are taking it up into the full four-limb staff pose, right? That big, almost plank of wood style position. Same things apply. Legs together, squeeze your bum, squeeze the legs, claw the fingers into the floor, push the ground away. Engage. You're trying to hug all these muscles in towards your bones, in towards what we call the midline. Now, you can hold there. If you're holding there, stay where you are, keep engaging, push. But if we're going to bend the elbows, take a big breath in, Exhale, bend your elbows maybe about a quarter of the way down. Resist the floor. Inhale, press back up. Now exhale, go down a couple of inches lower, maybe halfway down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, go down as low as you feel that you can take it. Exhale, down. Inhale, press back up. Lower the knees, sit your bum to your heels. There are some techniques where you don't let your shoulders go lower than the elbow. We all work with different things, as I'm always going to keep saying to you. If your shoulders go a little bit lower but your wrists feel fine, then do what you need to do. I quite like to have that resistance, so I don't like to go down too far. I want to keep my shoulders nice and broad, collarbones open, so that when we do go through into that upward facing dog, there is that open chest available right now. So I'm often thinking about, where am I going next? Where am I going next? Where am I going next? And setting your body up into those positions which really help the flow, that things just fall into one after the other. So why don't we go for 3 vinyasas, where we start in a downward facing dog and we'll go through those chaturangas. I'm going to give you modifications while we go, building up to the full plank, and we'll see where we're at. So everyone come into downward facing dog for me. Spread your fingers wide, tuck the toes, lift the hips, drop the head through the arms. I'm going to keep my knees bent today in what I call a tiger dog. So I get loads of length in my spine and draw the tailbone up towards the sky. As you inhale, ripple forward into high plank. Squeeze the legs together, squeeze your glutes. Modification 1, you don't do the chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, point your feet, press the backs of your feet into the floor, shift the hips slightly forward as you squeeze your bum, chest forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back into your down dog. Option 2, we're going to take the knees down. So inhale, rock forward, high plank, lower the knees. Take a little breath in, separate the space between the shoulder blades. Exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze in. Inhale, let's go into cobra. Belly down, point the toes, squeeze the shoulders back and lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back, downward facing dog. Let's go for number 3, Full thing. Inhale, forward, high plank, squeeze the legs together, set yourself up. Keep the legs together. Exhale, bend your elbows, we go down. Chaturanga, resist the floor, hug the elbows in. Inhale, rock forward, upward facing dog. Squeeze your bum, let your thighs lift from the floor. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. And then drop down to your knees, turn the palms up to the sky, butt to your heels, and breathe. Big well done. If you want to build the muscles in the upper body, low plank or high plank, hold these guys around for as long as you can. And if you're lifting weights, good for you. Adding in different disciplines to your practice will really help you. All right, that's pretty much everything I'm going to say about Chaturanga today. So hopefully there are a few things that helped you there. And if you did that little flow with me, well done. I'm feeling a little bit pooped from that. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Little baby puppy Finn hasn't come back. I get it. So thanks for joining me. As always, like and subscribe. Let's have a chat in the comments. Thanks for joining.